Hi there, I'm bringing you King Decebalus, nicely finished, painted and based. First things first, it's a brilliant figure to paint because it's quite chunky and has not too many fine details, so even someone who doesn't know much about painting should be able to do it quite well. I particularly like the druid. I was going to keep the druid separate and base is sort of standard with this guy, but I decided to stick the druid on instead. The druid's cloak looks very, very good. As you can see, I've put some nice mud around the bottom of the cloak because he's been dragging himself through the mud. Yeah, I do like the druid. Decebalus himself is a very nice figure. He's got a little brooch on his cloak, and you can see a nice big chunky sword and everything he's got. That's quite nice. As a historical figure, Decebalus cut quite an interesting figure. As to why he decided to go to war with the Romans, no one really knows. Probably his own prestige. After all, his hold on kingship was a little bit tenuous at the time. And he basically decided to invade Rome, which is a bit of a stupid thing to do, to be honest. But he did very, very well out of it. After the Romans defeated him, he sued for peace and got the Romans to supply him with new shiny weapons, Roman military technology, scopios and ballistas, all that sort of stuff. Of course, the Romans realised their mistake and asked for the stuff back. He happily gave the stuff back, but not after copying down how they were made, which led to the Second War. So really the Dacian Wars are partly to do with Decebalus's personal desire to consolidate his own authority in his own country, which was Dacia, and also to unite the clans and groups around him. One way Rome kept power was by keeping all the little clans and tribes on the edges of the Roman Empire fighting each other, or at least allied to the Romans through fear of other people. Decebalus successfully managed to ally both the Celts and the Germans to go to war with the Romans, probably going to them and saying, "Hey, the Romans are your enemy too, let's go and get them." As to why the Second War started, that's also part of Decebalus's fault. He decided to attack the Romans, probably preemptively. Emperor Dacian was in quite a bit of political trouble. He probably thought he could start a war on the Roman border and get some concessions either off of a weakened emperor or get the emperor to resign his position or die so he can negotiate better terms with the next emperor. Didn't really work out that way. Nerva became emperor after Domitian died, and Nerva was decided to be joint ruler with Trajan, who was a bloodthirsty, invadey type of emperor who took out the Dacians for once and for all. Dacia ended up being called Romania, hence the name today. But back to the figure itself. Nice figure. The cloak's quite easy to paint, lots of nice creases. I used 3 tones on the cloak. I painted it dark red, and then a slightly lighter red, and then a mixture of red and tan, just to give it a topping, which I think looks quite good. The cloak of the druid has got about 4 or 5 tones on it, I think. I just kept putting tones at the top and leaving the bottom the darker colour so you can get the nice mud effect. That's the worst thing about mud effect. You have to get it just right. I also did the blue scar on his forehead. He was a smart little, druid, I suppose. He's called a shaman on the box. I'm not really sure what the difference between a druid and a shaman is. He came up with this really clever idea to divert a river, so they could bury all the Dacian gold underneath the river and then redivert the river back so the Romans couldn't get hold of the gold. Didn't work out. A chap called Decebalus changed sides and told the Romans where the gold was. So as a druid he was quite clever, but not as smart as the Romans. They were very good at getting people to change sides. Anyway, there is King Decebalus. Maybe if the Romans actually start beating these guys, I'll have to get one with a severed head. That is, after all, what happened to poor old Decebalus. So, I hope you like the video, and I hope you like my painting of the figure. I'm going to put loads of stills at the end so you can see it, and get a good close-up of all the different angles and stuff. This has been Vespasian. Hope you enjoy yourself. Thank you.